Greetings everyone. It's been a long time since I made my this last video. I think it's like almost more than a month. I mean the English speaking video. Um, Today I would like to continue my random talk about the random stuff and recover my joy of making videos. Yesterday I had this great desire to make a video, so I create a post on a Facebook asking for a video topic. Two people replied, and one was like, maybe you should talk about the millennials, young people. Well, I guess I cannot talk about this current timeline. The second one was the person who helped with my book, person who studied Turkic language in Serbia, Mr. Alexander, and he's the one who tricked me or something. I mean, directed me to look at towards towards the north, towards the Yakuts and the Sakha people, so-called Turkic-speaking people. And you know what? These Turkic speaking people are like using Mongolian words to speak Turkic. I mean, it's like actually they are not exactly speaking Turkic, but they are speaking some kind of ancient Mongolian. So a huge number of words are shared between the Yakuts and Mongolian language. I just noticed that. So thanks to him, I also found, I think, the name Otun Han, the Star Lord, something like that. It became a big thing for me, and I'm like into this Odin and looking at all the similarities, something like that. So today I wanted to talk about the one video he shared with me, and this video is about the Sakha hero. Name it, damn it, I forgot the full name. It's Nurgun Batar. It's a Batar, a hero named Nurgun. It sounds like in Mongolian Nirgun, meaning the striker. And I came up with this idea that because he turned it into a falcon in this cartoon. I have put the video in the description below, so you could enjoy. It's not the hero's adventure is not important part of this video. It's the creation myth of Sakha people. I have put my this creation myth in my book, and it's mine is quite detailed, I think. Let me tell the Sakha myth in a very this short way. There's the upper world, middle world, and lower world, and these worlds were created because of a great war, because of great conflict between the forces of good and evil, light and darkness, etc., etc. And since they could not destroy each other, they decided to create the things are this falling towards each other and this destroying, this mixing all this stuff. But in the end, they decided maybe we should like stable way, and decided to think about the peace. So in this creation myth, important part is like gods are having a peace. It's not like this Christians God is constantly fighting with the forces of Satan, and in this Western world, the comics is full of someone is this punching and destroying. The Hollywood movie is all about someone is this excellent shooter and explosions, etc., etc. That's a bad message, But this Sakha Christian myth has a good message where the gods decided to have some distance between each other and to create these realms. And what else? Of course, the first humans on Middle Earth is from the heavenly origin. No one talks bad about their ancestors. Yet, in my creation myth, the first humans were touched by every gods. This because every force in this world is influencing us. That is why, and they were even touched by the ruler of the underworld, Elik Khan. He did finger, this creating something called Addis, this meaning the fear of death, and belly button, and he even gave us, this male and female gender, this fire, etc., etc. This is what my, this creation myth claims. But this Sakha myth seems to just lack the explanation for why some people are evil, something like that. If we all from this heavenly origin, we all being good, we all being peaceful, but no, the reality is somewhat this chaotic, that's a struggle between the good and evil. So I noticed that this professor or Mr. Peterson claimed that every human being were this religious, and atheists were somewhat this ignorant. In my opinion, yes, it is true that human being should be religious, because human beings should have something called the Odin force. I'm quoting this comic books. Odin force is the force that makes you one. This in Russian language, Odin means number one. You are one and only unique creature, and you should house own inner spiritual world, but you are sharing this world with so many other people, and you are claiming that this Christian God controls you, or nothing controls me, or Allah controls me, or this for Jews it's like Jehovah controls me, something like that. So I'm being an ignorant man, or I'm being somewhat atheistic towards these religions, and I like to claim that no Christian God controls me, no Allah controls me, no Jehovah controls me, or nor Buddha controls my actions. However, I did a lot of this study on what the Buddha said and something like that, and sometimes I have this some Buddhist feelings that I must not be in a hurry. This I must not push myself to brink of madness. I need to chill, relax, this do my things that I like, and be patient, etc., etc. The other, these religions do not, this offer me such, this stuff. I think it's all about the struggle, the jihad between the good and evil, Satan. This since I have sinned, I must, this behave, or something like that. I'm this. I'm dirty, sinful creature. All this, this negative feelings. I don't like that. And I prefer to be controlled by the old Khans, Elik Khan, Odung Khan, Bilik Tanghai Khan, this. So simply I try to be a proud creature that honors my ancestors, something like that. So because of this Western education, because of here in Mongolia we study Greek, Roman, and Egyptian history, and we do not focus on this Southeast Asian history. We do not care about the Japanese, Korean, or Indonesian, Philippines, and this Vietnam history. We usually skip that, and we usually focus on Greek, Roman history. Is following the Russians, what they think and something like that. We usually didn't care about the Yakuts and Sakhas, even if we were this blood relatives, this linguistic relatives and stuff. It is sad that these Russians knew about it, and Turks knew about it. The Turks have studied all gods, and they published some papers, but they do not genuinely believe in existence of these spirits, because they are happy with their gods. They are happy with their Allah. They are happy with their Jehovah, or how you call Sevishni, all high, something like that. Speaking of this Russian word Sevishni, all high, the god, it's like this Hindu Vishnu. Vishnu is the highest god, like in Russian language Vishnu is the high, something like that. You must know that Buddhism is some kind of atheistic movement where one Mongolian, half Tibetan Zohar claims that we shall not worship to these these heavenly beings. Said thus we shall not also worship to lesser beings like land spirits and water spirits and etc, etc. Our main focus is the teachings of Buddha, something like that. But when you look at what the Buddha said, like Buddha said, this woman were red rust, women were robbers, women were worms. So if you accept a lot of women in our religion, our dharma is going to be destroyed, something like that. So Buddha is not exactly like this good and nice guy. He's a guy who calls beautiful woman as a bag of bones, and in time your beauty is gone. Something like that. So yeah, it's kind of sad that this Buddhism made a huge impact and made a huge damage to our ethnic, this to our ethnicity, this. We are no longer thinking about the future. We are not longer thinking about the ashid. Ashid is similar to a Japanese word ashita, meaning tomorrow. Ashid is future, and if you say ashik is a prophet. So if there is a prophet in something, this area, this way has some future, something like that. So realms are created, and some 3 judges were elected to look after these realms. I suspect these judges have their own separate, these realms that they control, the upper, middle, and lower worlds, and what is going to happen. Or simply this is an idea that in everywhere there is something. Gods of fate, the gods of chance is working. The one of the gods is Odong Chinggis Han. This word Chinggis is used here in Mongolia. In Yakutia, also in Mongolia, Chinggis is used. This Chinggis is written in Old Mongolian script. That's why we say Chinggis, but it is written as Chinggis. In Sakha, in the Sakha, in the very edge of this world, it's Odong Chinis. So Chinis can be like chance, I think, or it can be like a Russian word chinit, meaning fixing, something like that. And word Otong is here in Mongolia is star. Same time it's going, traveling. So it's Ot or Oto means now. Now is also traveling. Now was this like few minutes ago, but now is still here. But now is also going somewhere. So now imagine that shamans gave Temujin this name, this title. You are now Otun Khan, but no, they gave this name. Now you are Chinggis Khan. So that's why he became a Chinggis Khan. And this is an ancient name. This is like ancient name like Onong Hilden, this Seling, something like that. These old Turkic names is not translated here in Mongolia. It's simply accepted. That's why this Temujin became a Chinggis Khan, and most people do not understand what is Chinggis Khan. Simply, Chinggis Khan is a god, and it's a name of a god, and it's a god of faith, and Chinggis Khan controls the faith, something like that. The title is given like that. So in the Sakha myth, the upper world is controlled by some dude called Bright and White Lord. Bad brain, forgot the full name. It's Ar Toyong. Toyong is Toyong here in Mongolia. It's a noble priest. Someone comes from a noble family who became a priest or a lama. It's a brother word or related word with the Noyong, Toyong Noyong, or Toyong Noyong. So Noyong here now in Mongolian nowadays used as Mr. So Mr. White you control the heavens, and the lower world controlled by someone with Arsang Dolai. I think I never heard this name, but I know that some people have named Dolai. Dolai is also not translated because it's a human name or old name. And if I want to make a sense of this name, Dolai can mean let's sing. Let's sing. And my friend suggested that Arsang maybe Arslang, meaning the line singing, or the lion voiced, or someone with a big and huge voice lives in the underworld, and he is the top ruler according to Sakha myth. If you change the D with the T, it can be Tolai, meaning rabbit. Rabbit is a symbol for moon. Moon is symbol for a dead world sometimes. But Tolai means someone who is struggling to pass something, who is doing some effort, something like that. So very effortly dude lives there, something like that. Of course, in Mongolia, it's the Erlik Khan, the mighty Khan, simply the Erlik. So, according to this Yakuts and Sakha, their gods are called I. Here in Mongolia, I is also a music and sound. So for them, it seems to be very important to sing. If you want, good business day, maybe you should sing a song, and your business will be okay, or something like that. It sounds a bit like this this modern Christian church, this singing. It's some strange, this churches are open, and they urge people to sing a song towards the this in the worship, and everyone sings a song about the God's love, or Jesus, something like that. So human religion, human spirituality is not, this jumping so differently or far, I think. Or maybe we are living in this divine, this zone, northern zone, because their Sakha myth claims that this abyss or abyss went to the south, where the clouds go to opposite direction. I know that in the north the clouds go from west to east. In the south the clouds usually go from the east towards this west. I'm not saying that the Southerners are evil, the creatures of abyss, but the myth says something like that. They went towards the south. The good guys stayed in the north. Something like that. This is, this north being good warms, this heart and something like that. And there's all kinds of bad stuff, all kinds of bad germs, this happening in the south. There was, this word of Osho saying that, this life begins with fear. Oh, no. Life begins where fear ends. Something like that. This is a very bad, wrong teaching. If I go to Australia, I will not travel, this barefooted, because I hear that they have a horrible, these creatures. One bite can kill me. Same thing applies here in Mongolia. We need high boots in order to protect our legs from the snakes and the tall, sharp grasses. It's going to be stupid. It's very stupid to be fearless. So here in Mongolia we say "ajopuluzite," meaning if you have a fear, you are having endless north, or you are being complete, something like that. Simply translated as a it is safer to live with fear. If a person has some fear, he is double checking. Yes, the safety equipment is checking, and everything should be correct, because there is always this danger of bad luck. So their god is I, and I here in Mongolia is also a fear. Strange. Well, it's been a long, this video, and thank you for spending time with me. Let's change time with the eternity. Thank you for spending eternity with me, and thank you for sharing this reality with me. If someone is traveled back into time in this timeline, they will find us, and we are spending this reality together. Well, that's pretty much for today, and thanks for watching.